We are reporting live from the man, the myth, the legend, Swim Dad Brad, aka ohbliv. Hey, ohbliv, I appreciate you taking the time out to chop it up. Yeah, man. So we'll just kind of get into your life a little bit and just your inspirations, aspirations, things of that nature.
Thanks for having me.
So first off, what kind of influenced your name? How did you get your stage name, rather? Yeah, just kind of take me from there, like how it all got started.
Well, appreciate it. It all started from me rapping. Before beats and all this, before all that, I aspired to be a rapper.
Okay.
So, in the course of, growing up and, rapping either in like lunchrooms at school or, with freestyling with friends, like I would always try to think of like a cool rap name. I went through a whole lot of different names. Brad the Nomad, Dusty Knuckles, like a lot of weird stuff. And then I saw a movie called Videodrome.
Okay.
And it's a bug movie. Anybody that knows that it's a bug movie, but the general gist of it is about this guy who works at a cable station.
Okay.
And he stumbles across this video called Videodrome.
Okay.
And he plays the video, and it's a bunch of like weird, like sadistic S&M type of stuff, right?
Okay.
And it kind of like begins to like mind control him, and he would have hallucinations, and it got to a point in the movie to where he found the creator of Videodrome, and the creator of Videodrome's name was Brian Oblivion. Okay, so I really identified with that, like he was the mastermind behind all that. So I just took the Oblivion and my first name, and it became Brad Oblivion.
Okay.
So that became like my official rap name, Brad Oblivion, or Brad O.
Okay.
And I used to rap in a group called Score One for the Little Guy locally with
Oh, isn't that the name of one of your songs? Yeah, dope. Yeah. That's dope. Okay.
Yeah, there's a flyer up there from it.
Wow.
But I was in that group, and that was my rap name, Brad O, or Brad Oblivion. But as I transitioned into more production, I kind of wanted to, differentiate the beat, stuff from the rap.
Okay.
And I kind of was fading away from rap anyways. I wasn't rapping as often. Certain things happened in my life that maybe we'll get into later. So I was hanging out with a guy named Josh and Leland, and we formed a crew called Chocolate Milk.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was going by Brad Oblivion, and I was thinking of another name for my production name, and we just were hanging out, and it just popped up like shorten Oblivion, take off the Brad, it just be ohbliv.
Okay. Cool. So that's it.
That's it.
Cool. What would you compare who are some of your like rapper influences coming up? Did you have like a style or a cadence you follow?
Oh yeah. I'm an old head, So I mean, I don't look that old, but I mean, I appreciate that. But Rakim, Nas, Cool G Rap, Doom. Who else? Cool Keith.
Okay. J.
Ruta Damager. These are all people that I was listening to like a lot back then that were kind of influencing what I was doing.
No doubt.
I listened to a lot of like underground hip hop too, like Mos Def.
Yeah.
So yeah, all that stuff.
Okay.
Definitely,
cool.
I was definitely in that vein of kind of like the true hip hop.
Yeah, the essence. That's dope. That's cool. Yeah, man. So who would you say are some of your influences in music and out of music?
Oh wow.
Yeah, I know you mentioned a couple.
Yeah. I mean, a lot. I mean, George Clinton.
Yeah.
Parliament, just
legend. Yeah.
Visionary. So like just seeing like mastermind, the whole Parliament Funkadelic movement. That him. Marvin Gaye. Is he straddled the line between like, sexuality and spirituality, you know, and I kind of identify with that also. People like Charles Stepney, who is a producer. He produced a lot of the Dells records in like the 60s and 70s, and he was pretty innovative in like his production methods back then, like using like multi-tracks and like orchestras for like R&B and soul records. And a lot of psych influences also. But then also, like, on the other hand, I also like I read a lot, very into like learning. I was, reading, the dictionary as a child. So like just growing up reading different authors, and, different people, Stokely Carmichael. I mean, we can get into like Malcolm. I read the autobiography of Malcolm X.
You just some heavy stuff.
I mean, this is like teenage stuff, you know. So like all that stuff informs my music also, you know, Black liberation movement type of stuff also. So
And you mentioned reading the dictionary. So you just did that. It was like
I was bored. I was I was an only child. I grew up an only child, right? So I had to find ways to entertain myself, and I would always like either get in trouble, just doing something dumb, like taking apart like the AM FM radio. I would do stuff like that. But I wouldn't put it back together. I would just take it apart. I would just take it apart, right? But it would get to the point to like summer days, I'd just be like just bored out of my mind, and I just had books, and I would just like literally just like read the dictionary, and also I was in the midst of like writing, rapping, and I wanted to expand my vocabulary.
No doubt.
What other way to expand your vocabulary than read the dictionary?
Exactly.
I mean,
exactly.
So,
Cool. And how about do you have like family members or I don't know, your kid or your wife or who influence you outside of music or who
of course, my family. My family's the biggest influence. My son, really all this ohbliv stuff really jumped off when my son Jackson was born. Like I was doing the rap thing. I was in Score One for the Little Guy, and I was also in another crew called Earth Tones, and we were doing music, doing shows and stuff. But once my son was born, my focus kind of shifted. I needed to like make a way. So they definitely influenced me, and my family, my pops, my mother, big influence. Definitely their family is probably the biggest influence outside of like music.
Right. That's what's up. How do you express yourself differently through your music as opposed to outside of it?
It's a whole like with music. My intention is to create a different world or create my own world. Like we live in this world, but when I'm making music, it's about the whole story. So I'm trying to create a world with my music. That's why the different aliases and stuff I might have, and different projects, like it kind of like all encapsulates like the characters and people in this world in my mind.
No doubt.
So it's just just thoughts that I've had in my mind that I'm just trying to get out.
And it what's cool is just how, and we were just talking off mic, just the different sounds and music you listen to. So it really, I think that plays into the world you create. It's just not one consistent.
Definitely.
I'll say I'm trying to choose my words here. So I would say the soundscape is different, but there's like an essence that
there's a
like
core.
There's
like a core like theme. To everything I do. Like it might sound different. It might be more hip hop, boom bap-ish, or something else might be more like ambient, but there's like a common theme running through everything.
Exactly.
Yeah. Glad you picked up on that.
Appreciate it. Man, I listen to your music a lot. So it's only right. It's only right. Man. No doubt. At what point did you realize you'd found your lane? Was it, outside validation, or was it kind of like you were feeling like you were mastering your craft? Or would it be a combination of both?
I feel like it was a combination of both. I feel like the outside validation made my inner visions like just more real. Like it validated it, but I would, like, I tell everybody, like, if there was no hip hop, if there was none of this stuff, like if I wasn't ohbliv or anything happening, I'd still be doing this.
Right.
You know, because I mean, I love music, I love manipulating sounds, and so I'd be doing this without the validation, but you know, it doesn't hurt, you know. So it just, on a spiritual tip, you look at the signs, you know, the things that happen in life that kind of like point you in the direction or tell you or give you confirmation that this is the right thing to do. Okay. So I would get those things, you know, that would happen, just little minor occurrences that maybe somebody else might gloss over, but I definitely try to stay, you know, present and aware of like the universe and God working through me. Word. So, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's what's up. What are your favorite records or type of records to sample, and what are you listening for in them, just to like, ooh, that's it, as opposed to kind of passing on a part of like a sample?
It's changed a lot. It's changed a lot. In the beginning, it was a lot of soul jazz, like, you know, Rhodes or just buttery sounds, you know, like a lot of like Donald Byrd or Ramsey Lewis, or a lot of keyboards back, you know, years ago. Nowadays, it's really anything. I mean, because as you go through, you know, the process of learning how to make beats, you realize that if you got the ear and the skill set, you can make a beat out of anything, literally anything. Right. So, but it ebbs and flows. There'll be periods where I'm only listening to African thumb piano and gamelan music for like 2 or 3 weeks. Okay. And then the next 2 weeks I'll be listening to nothing but 80s boogie. Right. Okay. I feel like what I'm looking for, I really can't describe it. It's more a feeling, you know, because I mean, I try to stretch myself beyond like just a typical sound, you know, like there's a certain theme and essence, like when you hear it, you know it's ohbliv, but I try not to be predictable, as in like, everything he makes is going to be like sad pianos and a dusty drum loop, you know, like that can get redundant.
Yeah, no doubt. And I don't know if I'm almost embarrassed bringing this up. It was a show at Gallery 5. I think Cheats was putting on a show, and that was the first time we had met. I don't know if you remember, but I was trying to explain a song. 'Cause I was listening to, it was like a part of a compilation tape, and I think the song you did, correct me if I'm wrong, was Body Op or something? Body Op? Yeah. And there was like a chicken on the front. I was trying to explain that, but I couldn't think of the song, so I was just like word vomiting. I was like, I can't believe I just like melted down in front of this guy like this. But I was so like, cause you're like, yeah. Then you just kind of, you're like, what's this weird dude? Yeah, I was
because half the time I really don't remember. If you can like name it or something, it's like I just make some stuff I don't remember. Yeah, but I was so embarrassed, man. Cause
I'd like listen to that song all the time, and just like the drums and all that in it, and then I was literally like, when I saw you, I just froze. And the name of the song left me. All I could say was like, the album with the chicken on the front. But I just wanted to bring that up. I'm not sure if you remember that, but I was so embarrassed. But but anyway, so listening to your music, and I've seen you like repost it on your SoundCloud. I'm not sure if it's your alter ego. Are you DarkTwaine as well, or is that okay? So what is who is DarkTwaine?
It's pretty much like my more serious, like darker, alter ego, as in like sound and like aesthetic and stuff. When, you know, ohbliv, throughout my travels and years, you know, the ohbliv sound, quote unquote, has kind of like become like a thing, you know, to where certain people kind of attribute a certain sound or aesthetic to like Ohbliv stuff, you know, like 80s 90s R&B or like boom bap or, you know, anything like that. And that's cool because that's what I do, you know what I mean?
No doubt.
But at the same time, like I'm saying, because I listen to so much music and I just take in so much stuff.
Yeah.
And also due to my I don't even like talking about it like this because it sounds pretentious, but due to my classical music background, that's afforded me to experience the full spectrum of music from, you know, classical, bluegrass, ambient, you know, just all types of stuff. So the DarkTwaine stuff was more or less just an outlet for just that. The different interests that I have, you know, and I didn't want to confuse people by putting it under Ohbliv because certain people here, they see Ohbliv and then they expect a certain thing, you know, and unpredictability, all of that, blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, I like, for business and branding reasons, I like to have things kind of like in their, you know, proper place.
No doubt.
That's what DarkTwaine is. It's just like, you know, experimentation and just different side of me.
Okay, cool. And that actually ties in perfectly into my next one. So just there's a duality I feel in a lot of your music, because you can, like you were mentioning, like the buttery soul samples, and then you can have your more ambient, like obscure records. So what you basically kind of alluded to it, but what's the, I guess, do you feel a freedom in that, as in a sense, like your sound can't be put in a box?
Absolutely. My wife, because we were talking, I forgot what we were talking about something, but my wife was she brought up the point that, like, isn't it confusing, you know, having so many different aliases and all of this stuff and all of that? And I mean, I told her, like, no, because it's freeing, because with the Ohbliv, I get to do what I want to do as Ohbliv, you know, like just totally go in with that style and sound. And with DarkTwaine, the same thing. Like the expectations are totally different. You know, like nobody's expecting a certain thing with either or. You know, so it's like I get a chance to really, you know, just have fun and dig in. You know. I feel like I get to do that more with the DarkTwaine stuff. Okay. Because the Ohbliv thing's kind of taking a life of its own. But it's definitely freeing to me. You know. So.
For sure. Cool. Well, what's the biggest cosign you've gotten for your music? Or from who was it from?
I really don't keep up with that stuff. I mean, there was a recent one, like, I mean, I've had a lot, but I mean, the Alchemist shouted me out. Like, he said that, like, he wrote down a list of his current inspirations, and I was in the list.
Wow.
You know,
that's a big deal.
Yeah, Alchemist is the god, you know. Like, I definitely look up to him. So I mean, that was shocking.
Wow.
That meant a lot, you know. That was very shocking though. But I mean, that's like the latest, but I really don't really keep up with that. And it really doesn't like motivate me. But it's good to hear.
Yeah, of course. And as promised, here's the segment. So I'm gonna pass you my phone. I have a few photos. So with each one, just kind of explain how it pertains to your story and what relevance it has to you. So, and if it falls asleep, just let me know.
Okay.
Yeah. So start with this one.
Alrighty. Looks like a tape deck. Yeah, that's where it all started for me. Making pause tapes. I had like the dual component set, like the turntable on top with the two cassettes at the bottom, you know, to record and the play one. And that's where it all started for me. Before, I didn't have any equipment, just that.
Because I was reading the Style Weekly piece they did on you a couple years ago. So, and you would take like your dad's records and kind of mess around with them.
Yeah.
So I guess could you talk a little bit more about that, and kind of how did that, what sparked that for you?
My dad had a basement, utility room basement of records. with no record player. And I didn't have a record player at the time. I was young. I was like maybe, this is probably around like Jackson's age is 10 now.
Okay.
So probably like around 10, 11, I started going down there and seeing all these records, you know, but I didn't have anything to play them on. So I would just look at them. I would literally just sit down there for hours, just looking at records, reading the liner notes, you know, and just like, yo, just imagining what they sound like, you know. And like, I think around 14, 15, finally got the component set, the turntable and the cassette. And that's where I just started listening. And I mean, I was listening to hip hop at that time also. Yeah. And I started hearing the same samples that I heard on the rap songs, you know, like, yo, I got this. Oh, I got this, you know? And I really don't really remember exactly where I saw or got the idea for, like, I might have seen like a documentary, like, or something like Wild Style or something, and they were talking about paused beats or something, paused tapes, and I just decided to, like, just out of curiosity, you know, just let me try it.
Check it out.
Yeah, just try it, you know. And I just kept doing it and kept getting better at it, and I started liking it. And
cool. And the rest is history.
Yeah, it just grew.
My laptop phone sleep is cool. Just make sure this thing's recording.
All right. So yeah. Next one?
Yeah, next one.
Next one is Stone's Throw. Stone's Throw Records, yeah. I always wanted to be on Stone's Throw Records. That was a dream. You know, and this is before even like Mad Villainy came out. But once Mad Villainy came out, I really like. I mean, I just dig the whole aesthetic of like what they were doing at that time, and where I was at that age, and what they were doing, it just it spoke to me. And then over the years, you know, making music, meeting people.
Who were some of those people?
You know, meeting people that are associated and affiliated and signed to Stone's Throw now. Mind Design, Knowledge, Devon, DJ Harrison, who released his record through Stone's Throw. Sophie, who actually put me down with Stone's Throw. I'm on their SOS compilation. So yeah, man, I just dig their aesthetic and dig the vision that they had, and they definitely, like, on the weird side of things, you know, they definitely like helped me like become more secure and confident, like, you know, just being myself. No doubt. I like weird stuff. Peanut Butter Wolf dug weird stuff, digs weird stuff, so I was like, you can relate. I can relate, you know.
No doubt.
And eventually I did meet Peanut Butter Wolf when I was in LA. I went to the Stone's Throw offices. Shout out Mind Design for taking me up there. And I got a chance to meet Peanut Butter Wolf, and he's real cool, you know. And I mean, I'm cool with a lot of people in that world, you know.
Yeah, that's cool. That's dope.
A3C. We spoke a little bit about that earlier. That was just an experience I wanted to have. Homies in Atlanta, they had like a showcase that they had been trying to book me on for like a couple years, and it just never panned out. And then the A3C came, and you know, everything, timing worked out, so I went down there, took the bus, the mega bus. That was the longest mega bus trip I've ever taken, yo, to Atlanta. Like, I've driven
12 hours, right?
I've driven to Atlanta before, like in a car, right? And it was just crazy.
Never fell asleep.
It was just like the longest bus ride ever, right?
I took it on. I made the mistake. I think it was New Year's Day a couple of years ago. That was a long. That bus ride was so long. It was like 12, 13 hours.
I want to say because I was gonna say it's really just like a 9-hour drive, like a legit just like 9-hour drive, and it was like 12, 13 hours on the bus. So after that, it kind of soured me on that, But I mean, it was cool though. Like
Yeah.
I mentioned earlier, like I got a chance to meet, dap up a lot of people.
Yeah.
The show was dope.
Word.
They show a lot of love in Atlanta.
That's dope.
A lot of love.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's a video on YouTube. I think it was like in 2 or 3 parts. This guy was like recording you on his phone.
yeah.
And you
heard
hear him
you
screaming.
Yeah.
Woo!
That's how it was.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
so much love.
Yeah.
Like it was myself, Twami.
Yeah.
Who else? Was it Illingsworth? I don't know. But really, Twami and me were like the headliners.
Yeah.
I feel like, and I mean, they just showed mad love. Like
Right.
a lot of like local like Atlanta like legends came through.
Wow.
Got to meet a lot of people there for that. I mean, it was cool. It was real cool.
That's what's up.
And now the Baker's Dozen. Yeah. The infamous Baker's Dozen. Eddie hit me up from Fat Beats out of the blue one day, and he broke down the idea of what they were trying to do, because this is like when Fat Beats was just kind of establishing themselves as a label again.
Okay.
And they wanted to like cement themselves like with the beat scene.
Yeah.
So he broke that to me, and he told me the first one they were doing was DiBiase, and they wanted to have me on board.
Okay.
So yeah, I just did that joint, turned it in, got homegirl Inga to take the picture for the album cover.
Dope.
and we did that.
Cool.
Made history. And
what's that song? It's happening again. I'm losing the song. Because there's one with the interlude, and then one.
I got one of the records around here somewhere.
Dang. I knew that was gonna happen.
I don't even have the track listing on the record, so.
Because there's an interlude, and then it leads right into the song, but they're both the same name.
What
is that song called?
What is it?
Why
I can't think of my own stuff, because I can't even think of my own stuff.
Because like outside of the interview, it like popped right in my head, but now I'm like blanking. Because I'm not gonna try and sing it.
Was it? Are you talking about on this album, right?
You're
talking about Give Me.
Give Me, yes.
Yeah.
Ooh. I think honestly, I really, really like the interlude.
I like the interlude.
Yeah, the interlude's really, really dope.
I like the interlude better than the track too.
But I think that was because I had posted it. I had this thing called Rich City a couple years ago, and I think that had just dropped, and then I did like a silly like reaction video to Give Me, and then he retweeted it, and it was just like the biggest. Hopefully I retweeted. But yeah, that was a really solid album.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. That was an interesting record. You know? Like that was like kind of like I was like, especially like when he told me I was coming after DiBiase.
Yeah,
he's really good too. Make sure like this is.
Yeah, had to bring back the A game. Yeah.
But no, yeah. After that, that pretty much started off my relationship with Fat Beats. That's still around to this day, you know.
Okay.
So yeah, that was good.
Cool.
Next up, Munich Academy. My young boy.
young boy.
Yeah. No, they're homies, man. They've definitely brought a lot of energy to the scene.
No doubt. Yeah.
Not even just like the local scene. I mean like the all around like hip hop scene.
Of course.
There's a lot of people that know about them, that ride for them. All over the place. So it's really dope to see the growth. Cause, I remember seeing Anakin, and at the time, the concept was part of it. Like before it was even a thing, they were just like just posting up like stuff on SoundCloud, and I was like, yo, these dudes are out of Richmond, yo. I peeped them. I think my whole thing was like, because I was a bit older, I was like, I'm gonna see how long it takes for them to hit me up. And eventually, we ended up linking up, and we've been rocking ever since.
Because the first beat Fly got from me. Was it Machine Gun Funk?
Yeah.
I remember when he was talking about it,
Yeah.
and like he was just like, this was
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
moving moment for him.
Yeah. No, he's
That's
not.
dope.
I mean, the whole squad.
Yeah,
is
super talented.
super dope. I mean, yeah, Frank is my bro. You know, that's definitely like my young bro.
No doubt. And you're part of the collective now, right?
Officially. Now.
Officially.
Yeah, officially now. You know,
Word.
that's just a formality.
Yeah.
You know, because like, you know,
You do a lot of their records too.
yeah. So it's just a formality. You know.
Word. No doubt. Cool.
Oh, the mural.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Anakin and myself. That was a surprise. I didn't ask for it, and I didn't expect it at all. I remember when I was on Twitter, and Nils, the artist, posted up like a drawing of Frank, and I remember that day because it caused so much controversy on Twitter.
Oh, I do remember that.
Everybody, you know, like, what has he done to deserve it? And all of this extra stuff, you know. It's like, yo, but I mean, what does it matter? Like, I mean, dude, I mean, he's putting in work. I mean, and the artist, like, you know, use him as a subject, you know. So that's what it is, right?
Exactly.
So I mean, I wasn't even expecting anything, and then Nils hits me up like a couple days later. It was like, I think it's time for your mural. I was like,
the voice dance.
whatever you say, bro. Whatever you say. Like, I'm not gonna refute it, you know. Like, whatever you say. So, I mean, the process happened very quickly from like him mentioning that to like he came over, took pictures, and then it actually going up. I want to say a matter of like 4 or 5 months.
Wow.
You know, and it was up. And I mean, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
There forever. That's dope.
Unbelievable work. Like, he's a talent for real.
Super talented.
Oh, goggles. Swim dad.
Swim dad, bro.
Yeah, that's me. You know, my son likes to swim. I'm the one taking him to practice. So, you know, they know me as Swim Dad Brad. You know, it's really that simple, you know. There ain't really much that too much deeper we can get with that. Okay. AGM, yo. Mike, Radio, Nick, yo. They the homies.
Right.
They the homies. They came up with them. I've known Nick the longest. Like, I've known Nick since high school.
Word. Okay.
Like, we crossed paths in high school and on some rap stuff. Like, we both like met in like a rap cipher. And then, you know, we split paths, you know. I ain't really link up with him till maybe like 2005.
Okay.
Like, at a show. Like, we had a show. I was doing a beat set. I'll never forget. It was it might have been like the first or second, like, I don't know if you remember Epic Fest.
Oh yeah, I do remember Epic Fest.
It might have been the second Epic Fest.
Okay.
They had it at the Camel.
Right.
And I was doing a beat set. Skills was there.
Okay.
Nick was there.
Cool.
And I was doing a beat set, and Nick saw it, and he was like, "Yo, you know, I fuck with this."
Oh, you good?
I rock with your stuff, you know what I mean? And I was like, "Yo, man, I know you, man. We know each other."
Yeah.
I was like, "You remember me?" He was like, "Yeah, I remember you." So from then on, you know, we started passing stuff back and forth, and the Yellow Goals came out of that, and then, you know, I met Mike, and, you know, started working with him, and like the whole AGM, you know, they definitely like extended fam.
Cool. And as of recently, y'all did the Brewer sessions. Like, how was that?
That was real dope. That happened kind of just spur of the moment too. Like, Nick hit me up. Like, we were supposed to, you know, over the course of time, you know, people are, you know, asking, is there going to be a Yellow Gold 3?
Yeah.
And we had plans on doing it, but it, you know, they were tentative, you know. We didn't have anything set in stone yet, you know. But he hits me up out of the blue, like, yo, AJ from Brewers hit me up. They're doing this thing like the NPR Tiny Desk, and they asked me to do one. And instead of like me bringing in a band, like, I wanted to do it, you know, with like a DJ or like, you know, do a whole new thing. Have you play beats? And he's like, yo, so let's just do, you know, a whole new genre, you know, like. And, you know, I got the beats together for him. He wrote to him in about a week. week or two.
Wow.
And
it was like a one take, right? The whole.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So
that's incredible.
Well, yeah, we did it in one take.
Yeah.
And something happened with the audio in the first time, so we had to go back and do it again. But it worked out perfect.
Okay.
It worked out great. But yeah, it was all one take.
Wow.
And that's Yellow Gold 3. We really didn't have no intentions of it being Yellow Gold 3. It was really just going to be kind of like its own thing. But it makes sense though, you know.
Yeah. Are y'all gonna release that as a?
Absolutely.
Okay. Dope.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Hey, man, I'll be waiting for that.
I think we got some special things planned for that.
Okay.
Be on the lookout for that.
Dope. Cool, man. I think that's all.
The last one.
Cool. Yeah, man. Just a few more questions here.
Yeah, man.
So.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, no doubt. So how has fatherhood, and you alluded to family being a huge influence. So how has fatherhood, in particular, influenced you and your music? And what are some things you wish you knew prior to being a father?
Wow. Fatherhood brought the hustle to my life for real.
Yeah.
Because like I mentioned before, I was rapping and things were moving rapping wise. Like we were doing shows, like we were doing like college tours and stuff like that and getting booked, and things were working. But artistically, I wasn't really being fulfilled. Like myself and the other group members, we had different ideas artistically and creatively on what to do. So I wasn't really like satisfied with that. So then like when my son was born, it really made me focus on like what I wanted to do and where I saw myself in the future for myself and my family. So I like once my son was born, I really like just dove in head first with like the beat scene, and this is like it was just the timing was perfect. Like it was just like the right timing for everything, because this is right when Twitter, Bandcamp, and all that stuff was really starting to like grow and flourish, right? So I was really able to capitalize on those because they were new and fresh.
No doubt.
So that was happening, and then my son just like put the drive in my head, like I gotta make something happen. Also, that was around the time when my mom passed. That was just such a weird, chaotic time. Like my mom passed. Like my son was born on a Monday. My mom passed that Friday. Like within a week, right? So my mom was. Oh no, yeah, man, that was 10 years ago, But thank you. So with that, like my mom's gone, who was like my rock, So I was like floundering, like I was like, man. And then my son was born, so I was like, man, mom's gone, my son's born. I'm just married, so I was like, I gotta make something happen.
Yeah, it's a lot of responsibility.
I gotta make something happen like quickly,
No doubt.
So I just started putting stuff out. So it, like having my son definitely like just put the focus on me about like what matters, in the grand scheme of things, having a legacy, something that I can like have to hand down to him, something that as he gets older, something that he could be proud of, something like yo, my father did this and this, or it's like, oh, somebody might even bring him. Like it's funny because even his friends at school, like 4th grade, but like one of his friends at school has like an older brother who saw the Brewer session, so he saw the Brewer session, right?
Okay.
So like now he has friends that are like 9-10 years old who know who I am, you know, and are fans of me. Like,
that's so dope.
Yeah, so that like
that's cool.
That, but things that I wish I knew before fatherhood, just more patience. Just like you don't have to like everything's not as dire as it really. And I've heard this about a lot of people that have had like kids and then like maybe have had another kid. Like they're like so like. To the letter with their first kid, and with the second one they're a little more lax because they know, like a lot of things aren't as serious as they are, you know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah, man, just that. I wish I knew better time management before my son was born. Because that's something that I've had to learn, get experience, doing it, But yeah, I mean that's really it. Having a child is amazing. It's humbling. He's taught me so many things as I teach him things, you know. So it's just a cycle of growth between all of us.
Wow, that's dope, man. That's cool. And in that point you were making about, you know, the first son or the first kid, because I'm a first first kid.
So you got
oh man,
you got it all.
Yeah, I can relate. My brother, I mean, it was wild, like, because my parents are just strict. So you know, I would kind of do what I was supposed to do in school and all that. So they weren't on my back as much initially. Like if I messed up, of course, you know, all hell broke loose. Exactly. So it's like, you know, you gotta be the example and all that. But I could completely relate to that point.
He's great though. Like
that's cool.
He just got scholar role in school.
Wow.
I mean, I feel like we're doing something.
Oh yeah, of course, man. That's y'all are. I could already tell both you and your wife are like a great team.
We're trying. That's the mentality you gotta have. You know, it's us against the world. You know, that's how I feel like family should be anyway.
No doubt, man.
Home of the tribe.
No doubt. So, you've done. You know, you mentioned various artists you've worked with. In particular, like the collab tapes. Like if it's just if it's you and one other artist, like let's say Fly, Radio, Nick F, or like Flexico. So like, how do you approach those albums differently? As far as like the samples you look for, the beat selection. So I guess how do you like prepare differently, like for each artist, for those type of tapes in particular?
Just having conversations with people.
Okay.
You know, it all starts with conversations. You know, getting to know that person a bit, you know, seeing where their head's at, you know, and then from there I can kind of, you know, in my own mind kind of like feel out, you know, what might work or what might stretch them beyond what they thought they could do, you know, like for example, like Anakin, for like the Backyard Boogie, a lot of those beats are beats that were like not typical beats of his that he would like you know, rap on, you know, before he would, you know, from me get from me like, you know, more R&B type of joints like the Panty Raid and all of that stuff. But at that point it's like, yo, let's stretch out a little bit. I want to see like how far we can take it, you know, like where your head's at with it. So I would give him some different stuff, you know, see what he liked or just see what he would do with it, you know. And that's really what it like for me, like, is I'm a fan of these dudes, right? So I a lot of times I give them beats that they want, you know, to hear, but I also will, you know, give them beats that I want to hear them on, be like just to see what they would do with their ideas, you know. And that just, you know, just for my sake, you know, and then from there I can see how far I could go with them.
No doubt. Cool. The computer fell asleep again. I think there's an option I think
you take the screensaver off. Yeah. Take the sleep off. You don't forget to change that back when you're done. You're gonna be running off.
So we touched. Okay. This one might make you feel away. So, good. All right. What's your favorite beat tape ever, and what's your favorite of your own? Like
favorite beat tape,
like instrumental? Like, just straight instrumentals. Yeah. Yeah, I knew you're good. Artists hate when I ask favorite.
Well, I mean, but beat tapes though, I don't know. I'm gonna sound real whack and go with the standard that every beat head probably has said at one point because it's like the most obvious, and just go with Donuts. Okay. Because I mean, but I don't know, because it's between Donuts and it's between Madlib, Beat Conductor 1 and 2. Okay. Yeah, but see, Donuts gets more like regular play, and I can play that anywhere, anytime, for anybody, and they get it. You know. And it personally also like it's just like complete. It's complete. To me.
For sure.
My personal favorite of mine. Soulphonic, the very first Soulphonic on Bandcamp, which came out like about 3 years ago. It's like a pink, green, orange cover with the two silhouettes, the two bodies on it.
Oh, yep. I know exactly what you're talking about.
That's probably my favorite one that I did. Like, I really, like, to me
That
personally, at that
was
time,
really
I was really proud of myself for what I did with that. Like, I was using samples that nobody's ever heard.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was just like kind of a milestone landmark of me like reaching another level in my style.
Was it called? Is it this? Mine was Black Love.
No, it's Soulphonic. It's Exo Soulphonic. Keep going.
Oh, this. Yeah, that one's good. Yeah, because I know you did. I know there was 3 songs that Concept did, right?
Yeah.
That one's really good. But I think one of my favorites is the Black Glove Frequency, the side B.
Thank you,
Those samples are crazy.
Thank you, man.
And I really like the new one you just dropped, Give Thanks. That was really good too.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, man. It's just, sorry, I'm fanning out, but like I'll be at work. Sometimes I'm like head bopping a little too hard and like had the stealth face on, but
slow down, buddy.
Slow down. We're in a corporate office, but yeah, man, your beats really get me through, man. You make really good music. I'm not just saying that because you're in front of me, but
I appreciate that, man.
And this means a lot too. So, but.
I mean, I only say that because like that's the only one that I kind of actually go back and listen to every now and then.
Yeah.
Because I just really don't go back to my stuff, like old stuff. You know, I don't know. I just don't. But that one, I definitely have gone back to and be like, I'm proud of
put my feet in that one a little bit. That was really good too. Let's see here. So, and you know, Ninth Wonder is another one of my favorite producers too. And I think there's an interview he did where he says, you know, of course he's highly successful, but he's kind of low key. You know, he still lives in North Carolina. And I noticed with you like you were mentioning with where you got your inspiration for your name from, Oblivion, and how he's the mastermind. So I'm assuming he was kind of like behind the scenes, but he controlled a lot of what was going on. So do you prefer that? Do you ever want to be front and center, or you just kind of want to do your craft and just kind of back away and kind of let it grow its own legs? Or?
It ebbs and flows. You know, there was a time, because that's kind of why I fell back from rapping, because I had done it for some time, and I just didn't feel the drive to be in front all the time, you know, rapping on stage. You know what I'm saying? It just didn't feel genuine to me.
Okay.
So yeah, getting into production was a way of like still exerting my creativity, but still like playing the back a little bit. Yeah. But I mean, I know when to turn it on and off though. Like I came from a theater background, so like being on stage is not. It's like second nature to me. Okay. So I have no problem, you know, getting on stage and being in front, you know. But I'm pretty I don't know, introvert, extrovert, you know, like when the time's right, or you know, if it's necessary for me to be out, you know, I'll, you know, do it fine, you know, but I definitely need that recharge. I definitely feel more comfortable being behind the scenes. No doubt. You know, but I have no problem being out front either. So it's both sides. Okay. Cool. What word would you give to aspiring producers? Whether it's, you know, any type of producer, I guess, what kind of words of advice, wisdom would you give to them? Persistence. Because, I mean, I came up with a lot of people. There's a lot of people that started with me around the same time. And, I mean, of course, you know, life circumstances can, you know, lead you in, you know, all types of directions. But a lot of times it was just that they just gave up. You know? A lot of times it's just like it didn't satisfy them, or it didn't fulfill them, or they didn't reach a certain level of success in the amount of time, you know, that they thought they would. So they just fall back, or, you know. Yeah. But like my mom said, and it's something that I've kept with me, you know, that she used to tell me was like, whatever positive things that you're doing in your life, keep doing those things. Like, keep doing those things. If this is what you're doing and it's a positive outcome is coming out of it, you know, keep doing it. If you are happy doing it and it's not hurting anybody, keep doing it, because good things will come out of that, you know. So yeah, that's been one of the things that's just been echoing in my mind, you know, this whole time, is just persistence and just keeping faith, you know. You definitely want to, you know, for young producers out here just getting their feet wet, learn as much as you can before. I mean, you can already be putting stuff out, but at the same time, learn as much as you can. Learn as much as you can about business. Like, there's nothing more powerful than knowledge and information. You know, and you can make better decisions. So, persistence, knowledge, and faith. Like, just keep all those things intact, and you'll get somewhere. Word. It might take longer, it might take shorter, but you'll get somewhere.
No doubt. Cool. And yeah, just to wrap up here, just two more questions. So, what's the proudest moment you've had with your music?
It's little stuff. Like, I performed at, you know, I've had big performances. I performed at like Low End Theory and stuff like that, and that was a dream of mine. And I was definitely, you know, proud of that. But it's little stuff like somebody sending me a message, like talking about how my music has like got them through like a really hard time, or you know, something happened in their life, and you know, my music got them through it. That's what makes me the proudest, because that's really the main intention of my music, you know, to affect, you know, somebody's life in a way that it stays with them, you know. So just being able to be that type of artist, that makes me proud, and that fulfills me right there.
That's dope. How would you say, and you know, people get particular with the DMV area, like where it is exactly, but how has this area in general shaped your story?
All right. Well, first of all, Richmond ain't DMV. Okay. First and foremost, Richmond is not DMV. Richmond is Richmond. Okay. But this whole area I'm talking about, from 757, 804 up to 434, 540, whatever. Like, Virginia as a whole has definitely like shaped my taste, my style, aesthetic. Because I mean, growing up, we're getting hit with everything. We're getting hit with music from the West Coast. We're getting hit from the South. We're getting hit from music from New York, you know. So all that, you know, has inspired and informed my music, you know. And it's made me more open-minded to different styles of music. And I feel like that's like Virginia, Richmond, DMV, that's like our strong point. Like, if you're really from here, you know what I mean? Like, I'm born and raised here. So like, listening to Q95. There was a time where like they weren't even playing like rap on like radio, like talking about, you know, until like at night. You had to like hear underground hip hop after 11 o'clock, you know. But all that's informed me, you know. It's made me more open-minded to different styles of music, different types of music, different people making different types of music, you know. So yeah, I mean, I feel like Virginia's strength is its diversity. So
dope. Cool, man. Well, that's all I got. Do you have anything else you wanted to add? Or?
Shout you out, yo, for coming through. Shout out everybody bumping my joints.
No doubt.
Look out for more, because it's definitely coming, yo. So
Word.
that's all.
Cool. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you, man. It was fun.